Hello, my name's Kevin and welcome to the Love Decanters channel. So this is part 3 of my visit to Kibworth Antiques Centre in Leicestershire. And yeah, I'm going to start with some lovely crusty old glass in this one. There was a cabinet that had some really nice old glass. You've seen a bit of it right at the end of the last video, and there's more of it from that same cabinet now. And so yeah, that was my favourite bit in the antique centre. So yeah, you know I like the crusty old stuff. And then yeah, we move on and do a whole pile of vintage stuff. But I'm learning as we go. So that's the stuff I need to get into and learn more about. And so with that said, let's get on with the video. Got a couple of little custards here. You've got this glass here, which looks very Victorian. Got what looks like a bohemian glass in the back there. That's super quality, difficult to see though. Then you've got like a little tiny rummer. Can you see? It's very difficult because everything's all crowded in. Got a nice ale glass here for £40, plain stem ale glass. It's got very conical foot, so that's looking like it's a nice mid 18th century one. And behind that there's a petal moulded custard cup. It says Victorian. I think it's quite a bit earlier than that. It says this is Victorian, and I think this is earlier than that too. Yeah, petal moulding was really first half of the 19th century. And then behind that you've got, it says a 19th century wine glass, but it's got a folded front. So if it is 19th century, it's very early. I would be going with late 18th to early. And then you've got this really nice Mercury twist cordial glass. Look at that. Oh, it's got a big chunk out the foot though, but it's £90. Yeah, this with that lovely etching there, this would be a few hundred, I think, if it was in good nick. We're going to look at 4 of the glasses that I saw there, and for the first 3 we're going to use my website because I've got examples and I've got references. The last one is out of my league completely, so I don't have it on my website, but let's go for it then. So the first one we're going to look at is the dwarf ale glass, and it was a conical, it was a trumpet one, or conical one, yes, with a conical foot. And here we go. So this one is engraved, but I put on here mid 18th century. Look how conical that foot is. And if you look down here, there's one with a fairly flat foot. See what I'm saying? Made late 18th century. So you can see where I'm coming from. Generally, if it's got a higher foot, you're going earlier. And I've got quite a lot of references here for it. Some of them are less good than others, like this is a really old book, but yeah, got Ellen Bickerton, so I think I'm on fairly good grounds with that one. And then let's go and have a look at another one. So the other thing I mentioned was the jelly glasses with the custard glasses with the petal moulding. I have a couple of those on here. I have these 2. I've only got one book for those, Sweetmeat and Jelly Glasses by Thurl Hughes, and I've said made early 19th century. So what do I mean by petal moulding? I'll show you this one first. Can you see it's got moulding that's like a little petal here? You can see it reflected over the other side there. It's very difficult to see. Let me go back one. I'll show you this one, which has got longer petals. Can you see it goes all the way up there like that? So that is petal moulding, and basically they pressed it into a mold at the beginning of making it, and then they've blown it and it's stretched them out like this. So yeah, that's petal moulding. And yeah, and this stem here is typical first half of the 18th century stem to go with it, and also you've got nice piggy tail handle as well. That could be early Victorian, but
yeah, with the other two features, it does keep it back in the first half of the 19th century. This one, yeah, it's got more of a actually raised foot as well, I think. Yeah, but anyway, I think both of these are early 19th century, and that's usually where you put petal moulding. And then the other thing we were looking at was the small rummer. Now, I don't have any miniature rummers like that one, but I do have some bigger ones. There you go. And I think it was this shape here, in fact. Maybe more like this one, a bit more delicate maybe. And the date on I've got on that is 1810, and I've got a billion references for it. How many references is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So, yeah, so this style of rummer is well referenced. Lots of books have them. The book we're looking at here is 18th Century English Drinking Glasses by L.M. Bickerton. And yeah, the funnel glass that we were looking at with the engraving on it and the mercury twist is like this one here. This one doesn't have a folded foot though. But yeah, they were producing folded foots right back into the 16th century. So in fact, back in the 14th century as well, if you go back to the Venetian glass. So that's not a denotion of age, apart from that they didn't really make them much past the early 19th century. Anyway, yeah, so this is the style of glass we're looking at with the what's known as a mercury twist. So he's calling it here. So this section is the air twist one, but within air twist there's one called mercury twist. And what it is that the hole that they push into the glass and then they twist it is a flattened hole, and it creates this reflective twist spiral in it that looks like mercury. If I go up one, I mean, they're shining it through this one. This is an air twist, but the hole is a really thin hole. There might be several holes, in fact, and when they twist it, it comes out like this, and look, there's an even finer one. Can you see? But then, yeah, this is a mercury twist, but that's a different shape bowl. In fact, no, that's a cordial glass and not a wine glass. This is a wine glass. What's funny about this one is this actually, if you look here, this one is actually chipped, even though it's the one in the book. Can you see in the picture? So the date he's got on this is 1750s for this style of glass. The engraving, it puts it into so it's already a rarer style of air twist, and then you've got it engraved. There isn't one like this. There's a different bucket bowl up here that's got engraving, and there's a few in here which have got engraving, but most of the glasses at this period were not engraved. So yeah, it is a rare glass. It is worth hundreds of pounds, maybe even more than 1,000 if it was in perfect condition. If it was a Jacobean engraving, it would be even more, but I don't think it is. It's just a nice engraving, but that is a very, very nice glass. The price, to me, feels like it might be right. I don't deal in those rarefied views, so I don't know what the price would be if it was whole.
Got a couple of we've got Costa Boda etched fish. They must be marked. A pair of Swedish ones. This is a very kind of, lots of people did these kind of things there. And then if I go down, let's go down. Yeah, a whole bunch of paperweights and things. The bird here looks Murano. Don't know about that one so much. It's difficult to tell without the base on it. But yes, this is quite a really nice cabinet, particularly this is right up my street.
None of my usual references have that vase in them with the fish. I've googled, and this vase here seems to be the same shape. The fishes looks like it's done by a different hand. The plants are done differently, but the overall shape of the vase. This is a signed piece. You can see it's got markings here underneath, and that one probably is too. But I will show you a little something that will show you how hard it is to ID. There's no date with this. Yeah, what have they got? They've got, yeah, 1970 is the year. There's a gap in my catalogue, so I don't have that year for Costa. So anyway, let me show you something else from 1970. So this is from Stromberg's Heighten catalogue from 1970. I think I downloaded this from the Glass Musterbooch website. I'll leave you a link for that. But this is all of the engraved motifs. There's like dozens of them. But this fish one here, zoom in a bit, is closer to the one that was on the vase that we were looking at than the one that was on eBay is being sold as Costa. So this is a kind of very common type of thing, but there's another one here that's a bit different. I think there was another one up here, another one a bit different again, but this one is closer to what we were looking at. And yeah, so this was a thing, Scandinavian thing at the time, and you'll see quite a lot of these kind of vases with motifs like this and this. Some of the motifs are less common, and you might be able to pin them down to a specific manufacturer more easily because, you know, they're a bit out of the norm, like this boaty one here, and probably there's others in here that are specific to Stromberg's Heighten. But some of them will be like this one here. I think there's similar ones to Orifice to this one here. So yeah, it is difficult to, unless you've got a part number or you know the exact model and design, it is difficult to pin manufacturers to these types of vases.
There's a whole pile of jewellery here, and kind of like, and then look at this. Oh, they're fantastic. See if I can zoom in, if I can get this right. Yeah, look at that. Fantastic. Looks very Regency perfume bottle. Yeah, that is cool.
I thought, seeing as I don't have any good references for that perfume bottle, I thought I'd show you some that I have in my collection to show you that that kind of perfume bottle is a thing. I do have references for these two. I think these are Irish. They might not be. This one is very close to one that's in the Ulster Museum, Dublin Museum, National Museum. So that one's pretty definitely Irish. These ones less so. But this one here, this one is shaped like the one we were looking at, and if you look at the cutting and style and everything, it's very kind of late 1830s, 1840s kind of thing, with these Gothic arches and step cutting and like coming into diaper cutting. So yeah, I think it's of this period, same as this one.
Interesting little bottle here in the back there. It's difficult to tell because the label's right in front of it, but you can see it's a donate shaped little perfume bottle there. That's not very common. In 165, it does have a silver top. I can't see the date. It would be great to see who the maker is. If it's someone like Hooken and Heath, that would really push the price close to that. Yeah, there's also a silver stopper there. You know, see with the cork base and the silver top. Now, I might have to go underneath and have a look at that. Got a little Whitefriars nail head vase, £70 tangerine. Behind it though, I think that's a Rihimaki tube vase there. I can check that out, see if I can find a pattern number for that shape.
We're looking at the whitefriarsglassworks.com website, and this is the 1970 catalogue, which is the earliest I can find of the nailhead vase, which is this one here, and its real name is the 9683. I don't know if these are official nicknames that things have. These are bark vases. That's the hoop vase. I think that's I think that might be the mobile one. I'm not sure, but they've all got nicknames, or a lot of them have, and I'm not sure if they're official or not, but yeah, they're fairly standard. Looking at the 20th Century Glass website, and yeah, so I found the actual exact model, colour and everything, and it's model number 1376. So it is Rihimaki, and it says it's from the 1960s. There used to be a website with all of the catalogues on, but it doesn't work. In fact, that's probably this reference here. I bet it is. Let's click this, and it'll... Does it go somewhere? Yeah, it's broken. Nothing's happening. Yeah. So there used to be a website with all the catalogues on, and it's gone. So if you get a chance to download catalogues, my advice is do it straight away, because a lot of these websites like mine, if I go under the bus, my OM site will be probably gone in a year or so, when if nobody keeps paying the bills to keep it up.
Got a few more bits in here. White Friars chimney vase. Don't recognise the cap. I do recognise it actually. Try and think where from. Maybe I'll try and find it. And then the vase behind, I know that's in 20th Century Glass. It says Carlo Moretti Opaline Vase. I will try and find that.
So I came back to the 20th Century Glass website, and this is the Carlo Moretti section, and there is something that, I mean, these ones are a bit like it, but it doesn't have the same pattern. You know, the colorway is the same, but the way it's put together is not the same. Also, I think on this one you can see it's cased. In fact, you can see a lot of these are cased, and that one wasn't. So I was thinking, because this is where I came, because that's what it said on the label, and I was thinking, I know I've seen it somewhere. And so back to the drawing board, and I thought Empoli and Vetria Biri. Anyway, here it is. There's two examples of the vase here. Let's go with this one here. And that is it, yeah. So and often mistaken for Carlo Moretti glassware due to the marble. I didn't actually read that before I came to this. Yeah, and found with labels VB Opaline Florence, made in Italy. It says same shape here with the label. Let's see where that goes. There you go. Let me agree with this. I didn't actually click that either. That's how unprepared I am. But this has got the label. Let's see if we can see one. So it's got the label. Let's just click through it. Where is the label? Show me the label. Here we go. It's coming. There you go. Opaline Florence, made in Italy. So there you go. This is out the same mould as the one we were looking at. It's just a different colourway. And so I think we've got that pinned down. He says it's 1970s.
So we've got a basket in the back here. It looks a bit Romanian, but I'm not certain because the base is not like the wood core base. In front we've got like a little slide glass toothpick holder. Might be Selby. I'll have a look through the catalogues. And we've got this little pressed cornucopia with opaline edge, Murano Somerset faceted glass, and it's got this Czech Jan Branard stainless. I will have a look at the Czech glass guide and see if I can find this vase. It's quite interesting.
I'm not good at IDing Murano glass baskets, but I do know Romanian ones, or at least the ones that are the most common ones that I see the most often. So this is a search for Murano glass basket, and you can see that's a Romanian one, that's a Romanian one, that's a Romanian one, That's a Romanian one. That's a Romanian one. And these others, that's a Romanian one as well. So is that one. Some of these others will be Murano. I think these two here are Chinese. This one I know is Czech. That's a Franz Wahl one from the 20s and 30s. So that's not Murano either. But this one might be Murano. That looks quite detailed and nicely done. So yeah, it's difficult. This one looks like it's Murano because of the way the base is made like other Murano figurines. But some of the others I don't know. But the ones that are the really common ones, like the Chinese handbags and these Romanian ones, I do know. And Franz Wahl ones, they're not super common, but I'm getting to learn the colours and patterns of Franz Wahl as well as the shapes, and you can pick them out, and that's definitely Franz Wahl. So yeah, it's difficult. And if I come back here, so I've typed in Romanian glass basket, and you can see this is Romanian, this one, less certain of that one, and then some of these are less certain. So this one's kind of like, ooh, maybe, maybe not, and this one is another maybe, maybe not. This one's Romanian. So it's, oh, hang on, this one, this is interesting. Sorry, I'm completely distracted myself now by seeing something unusual. So it's labelled. In fact, it's in 20th century glass. This must be new. So you can see this is 20th century glass. These are Romanian ones. And where is that other one? This one here. This is unusual. Now, because it's got the label on it. So, and it's got like a Murano base. Oh God, I'm really confused now. I have no idea where I'm going and trusting less than I ever did before. So yeah, I think that one might be Murano after all, because it's got this little blibby on. This is something that's very distinctive. They do on most of their baskets. So I've had a punt around trying to find this blue slag glass toothpick holder, and this is what happens if you do a quick search. There's loads of toothpick holders, but not the one I'm looking for. Yeah, so I did actually look in a proper reference and didn't find it, but I did find something interesting. So this is the Sowerby 1878 catalogue that's been downloaded from the Victorian Press Glass website. So this is 1878, and you can see blue here is just like a straightforward pale blue colour. Then they've got like a blackish charcoaly colour, and then white. Yeah, so this is the coloured pages. So these are the colours. They've got pale blue, black and white. However, by 1880, you got slag glass. So 2 years later, slag glass appears. They're not calling it that, they're calling it vitropot. But anyway, and if you go down, you can see there's toothpicks here. Look at this one here. That's a little vase. There's one there. I think that might be one. So yeah, toothpicks were popular, but look at this colour here. So proper slag glass. This isn't just straightforward blue. So it looks like slag glass probably came in around 1880. It did for Sowerby, whether it came in other places in slightly different timelines, but that's about the start period for that piece probably, because it's looking like there was none before in 1878 and suddenly there is in 1880. It looks like Fenton has two moulds for cornucopia, a knobbly one and a non-knobbly one. So this one here is the non-knobbly one, and it has a little curlicue just here, and the knobbly one doesn't have it. Yeah, that's a good one here. You can see this profile here. It doesn't have the little curlicue. This one here does. And also, they treat them differently. So some of them, you can see they've just left the end. I presume originally when this was moulded, this end went straight up, and then they press it down and then bend the end up. You can actually see this one here where it's bent up. This one looks more bent than this one does. So this is all done by hand after it's come out of the mould, because obviously you can't have all these different weirdy bits on it in the mould itself. You have to think about how the mould's got to part from itself, and so there's certain things you can and can't do with it. And so some of them you work it after you've got it out of the mould, and on some of them they've put this ruffle on the edge, and on some of them they haven't, and that's true of both of them. So the smooth one and the knobbled one. So yeah, there's a lot going on, and some of them they seem to have added. I don't know how they're adding this different colour on the edge. They must be doing it in the mould somehow, but I would not know how that's done. I mean, look, they've got like pink, blue, brown. Yeah, there's it's kind of like, you think of pressed glass and you think it's just, that's it, the press, but there's stuff going on after it's pressed here as well. We're now moving on to the very last piece of glass that I talked about there, and we're looking at the 20th Century Glass website, and I think this is the actual piece that we were looking at here, which is a faceted Somerset vase, and yeah, and 20th Century Glass, they've got a labelled one, which is perfection, unless it's a fake label, of course, but he doesn't seem to think so, and he knows his stuff because he's got a section in this website about fake labels. But anyway, have a look at this. G, Campanella and C. So he doesn't say how old it is though, but he does. It's definitely, we've got a maker for it, and it's definitely Murano. So that's quite nice.
Sorry about the background noises. They're making coffee in the background or something. Yeah, I've got this little decanter set. I think this is J.G. Durant. They said French. I'm pretty certain it is, and yeah, I think J.G. Durant is the maker. And then above that we've got, I think I might have seen this pattern before. I think this is a UK pattern, not an American one, with these thistles on. I will try and find this one.
We're looking at the Carnival Glass Worldwide website, and yes, so this is the pattern. It's called Thistle and Thorn, and it's by Greener & Co. From Sunderland in England. So this is not American Carnival glass, and yeah, it comes in white as well, and there's not just the it looks like it's like a tea set thing, because you've got your sugar bowl, your cream, and this is probably for your little cakes or biscuits or something, I presume. So yeah, it's not as tightly defined. I've seen it before, not as tightly defined as some of the American ones. It's as good as some of the not so good ones, I would say. Let's put it that way. But it's not as good as some of the best American ones I've seen.
Check out the Carnival glass here. Yeah, this is fairly nondescript. There's no marks on it or anything. It's a nice colour though, really iridescence. I reckon. Like this is, I think this is it Dragon and Lotus or something like that? Or Dragon and Rose. This is an American one. I can find that, I think. Pretty certain I can. 3 feet, look at that. Yeah, and these are fairly unlikely to find these because there's no named pattern. Can try though.
So here we are on David Dottie's Carnival Glass website, and yeah, this is the ruffled bowl that we were looking at here. Prices are up here. It says this red one was $4,100 in 1996. Yeah, so it's called Dragon and Lotus, and it's by Fenton. And They never give dates on here, but we can go to the Carnival Glass website, and they don't give a date here either. Normally they tell you it's early 1900s. Oh no, it does. Made in the early 1900s. I missed that amongst all this there. So it is early 1900s. And we've got a price here of $115. Now, this is the American price, okay? You have to remember that. But even for the UK, £8 is not enough. Yeah, they're usually at least double that. And yeah, people just don't collect it in the UK, and that's what makes the value. And then you've got to consider, okay, you could try whizzing around and buying all this stuff up and shipping it out to America, but then you've got to pay to ship it, and then there's the work of collecting it. So yeah, ultimately that price is probably achievable, because a lot of the thing, I think this is this one sold? No, it's not, but a lot of the stuff on this website is sold. Oh no, sold. It is sold. So this is gone. So that price is achievable in America, but if you were to try and sell it in America or sell it internationally on eBay, you would have to deduct what the postage to the US would be to make it worthwhile for someone from the US considering it. So you'd probably end up selling it for, I don't know, £50 or something like that. So it would make it cheap in the US, but even with the price of the postage added on.
So there you go. And if money was no object, I'd have had two of those glasses at the beginning. I'd have had the little Irish wine glass with the Bickerton and diamond pattern, and I'd have had the broken glass as well. Yeah, that was nice. So some collector will see that and buy it, I'm sure, because that was, I buy the odd broken piece, and that was a very expensive piece brought low by a bit of damage. So someone will want it when they see it. What else? So with that said, all the contact details for Kibworth Antiques Centre will be in the description below. What else? Yes, all the references I used will be in the description below as well. And please remember to like and subscribe, because it really helps my channel move on and get a bigger audience. And I think that's it. So thank you for watching. Have a good night. Good night.